Well, how to face a lockdown? Because of the coronavirus, most of the countries in the world are in a lockdown, and we have plenty of time at our disposal. Earlier, we used to go to work, go to church, go for shopping, and spend time with family outside. But now we are all in our homes, plenty of time at our disposal. So I would say make good use of the time. According to the Bible, there are two ways a person can use his time. One is to make good use of the time, or we can make bad use of our time. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 and 16. Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Apostle Paul, writing to the Ephesian church, is telling that we can make the best of every opportunity. If you see the context, he's telling you can either live according to the darkness or the earthly nature, or you can live according to the light of God, making use of every time and opportunity. Well, I want to tell you three simple ways how to make best use of this lockdown and time that God has given us. First of all, bond with God. Usually when we are away from the busyness of life and when we have time, that's when God speaks to us. You and I will be able to hear the whisper of God. Look at Jacob, for example. He left his father's house, running away because of fear. And time came when the sun had set, he could not run anymore. He had to spend the night, took a stone as a pillow, and as he was sleeping, God spoke to him that night. God had to take him away from the busyness of life to speak to him. Look at Moses, all the way out of Egypt in Midian. And from there, he takes his father-in-law's flocks and goes to the wilderness. And there in the burning bush, God spoke to Moses. Maybe God has something to speak to you. Be sensitive, create a bond with God, read the scripture, pray, spend time in the presence of God. I'm sure you will hear from God. Secondly, build up your spiritual gifts. You have been given spiritual gifts by God, and this is the time to use and build up your spiritual gifts. Maybe you are a worship leader, you can do some songwriting. You are a Sunday school teacher, maybe you can do some curriculum for the children. Maybe you are working secular and there are some courses available online where you can upgrade your skills. So use this time in the fields that you are working, in the ministry that God has given to you. Use your time to build your spiritual gifts. And thirdly, bond with family. We have plenty of time. Spend that time with your spouse, with your children. Work together, pray together, cook together, clean together. And usually when we are busy, it's the family that we ignore. But let's use this time to bond with our family and have a godly family. Friends, as the world is in a complete lockdown, I pray that we will be able to use our time wisely and build a good relationship with God, use it for our spiritual gifts, and have a wonderful family time. May God give you the grace for this. God richly